The Betting Edge with the Prez, I'm back. I'm excited to be doing this show. I got Marco D'Angelo sitting next to me all the way in Vegas, and we're going to take apart all the NFL games, and we're going to do it at 100 miles an hour. I don't know if Marco understands what that means. He's probably the most loquacious handicapper on the planet, but I will remind him he can do all his talking on Bet On It. Let's get through this card. He's laughing already. What up, big man?
Oh, man. To think I actually was missing you.
I like that you're wearing a black shirt. Very slimming, Marco.
I've actually lost a few pounds. I am at my lowest weight since 2008. And if I can drop 2 more pounds, I will be at my lowest weight.
Okay, well, how about you drop 20 and I'll give you $1,000.
Oh, dude, you're killing me.
Well, I just offered you $1,000.
Well, I'll work on it, sir. I'll work on it.
Okay, brother. You know what, Marco? It's good to be back, dude. And I love doing the show with you. You're my 14th favorite guest, and it's a real privilege.
Oh, that's great. I'm your 14th favorite guest when you only do 5 shows a week.
Yeah, I only have like 11 guests that I rotate through, too.
Okay.
Tell us what's going on, dude. Big promotions going on over at Bet On It. Fill us in with what's going on in the wonderful world of Marco and WagerTalk.com.
Well, we've got a special going right now. You can get, it's the lowest deal, best deal of the year, plain and simple.
I'm going to rain on your parade in about 3 minutes, but go ahead.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, we've got, you can pick up a 12-month calendar package for just $100 a month. $1,200 gets you 12 months. Guys, it's $349 per month if you're buying by the month. If you buy the full season at regular price, that's $19.99. You're picking it up right now through New Year's Day. You got till the ball hits the ground for New Year's to get this deal for $1,200. Check it out. A lot of hot cappers at both sites. Pick your favorite capper. Get every single play they release for the entire year, including those big 5% plays, Prez, that sell for $40 by themselves.
Yeah, so Marco, I care about my listeners a lot, and I outdid your special.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, if you guys watch the college football betting show with Teddy and Dave, it's up now. We take apart every bowl game up until Monday. We'll be doing another one on Monday. I actually took $1,000 off of their season package, but not yours, Marco. Only theirs.
Okay,
that's good. If you head over to WagerTalk.com, you use the promo code Teddy Boxing Day or Dave Boxing Day. You get a full year of all their plays for only $999. So yeah, Marco, who loves their audience more than me, baby?
Yeah, and that's surprising because you generally are not giving away money.
Oh, you anti-Semitic bastard.
Did you have a good vacation?
Marco, it was an interesting vacation. I mean, look, a vacation is defined as a time away from your children. So I did have a vacation in Switzerland. I skied for 4 days. It was beautiful at Zermatt, an amazing city. They don't allow cars in Zermatt. And then I went to Jamaica with my girlfriend, my 2 girls, and her 2 boys. That would be defined as the opposite of a vacation. I had 4 kids and a buffet I had to deal with every day. I know you and buffets get along really, really well. Me and buffets do not. I hate them, and I never want to eat at another buffet again. But I'm glad to be back, dude. I'm excited. So much great stuff is happening at Wager Talk and Sports Memo, and we've got some big news coming for the new year, so everybody stay tuned for that. But yeah, dude, it was good. It was good. You know what? You go away for 2 weeks, you just want to get back and get into the grind. But now I'm working on my next poker tournament. I'm thinking Panama, end of February. What do you think?
You're when I grow up, I want to be just like you, Prez.
Yeah. You're 9 years older than me?
Yeah. Well, apparently, I'm doing something wrong here because
Oh, you are not, Marco. You were doing something wrong, but now you've attached your train to mine.
Wow.
And
okay.
mine runs fast down the track, baby. So keep up.
All right.
A bunch of NFL. We're going to go through this card super quick. I just want to remind everybody, $1,000 off of Teddy or Dave's full year of plays. Head over to wagertalk.com. This promotion is available until Monday. It is Boxing Day, Boxing Week in Canada. I know that doesn't happen in America, but I am Canadian, and I've decided to give out Boxing Week specials, which are always massive. So $1,000 off of Teddy or Dave's full year. Use the promo code Teddy Boxing Day or Dave Boxing Day. And I do have more amazing promotions coming up in the show, none related to Marco D'Angelo.
Prez, did you happen to see the one episode with
No.
Joe Ranieri and
No.
Rob Vino?
No.
Oh, come on. Yeah, somebody had to send you a link to that.
No, I haven't seen a thing. I swear to God. What happened?
Yeah, I can't tell you. You have to. We'll send you the link to that day, and you have to. It was last Wednesday's show, and you just have to watch the final 3 minutes. It was the best 3 minutes of Betting Edge ever.
Okay. I'm good with that. I mean, Joe is incredible, and Rob did a thankless job stepping into my shoes. So I really appreciate that Rob hosted the show while I was away. And look, dude, I mean, nobody's going to be as good as Joe on radio. I mean, this guy lives, sleeps, eats, and breathes the stuff.
He's very creative, too.
Yeah.
Very creative.
Except he lost a bet to me and didn't follow through on it, which is a damn shame. Marco, Tennessee, Houston, line move very recently. We got a 4 on the board at Stations Casino for Tennessee. An over and under of 45. I talk about this game in great detail on the NFL presidential address. I'm going straight to you. I really want you to keep these games to about 30 seconds apiece.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you, for me, I do lean to Tennessee in this game. They do have the must-win need factor, and that is built into the line. But what I'm going to tell you, Prez, is if you have any lean to the Tennessee side, you do it right now, because here's what's going to happen. When Kansas City beats the Chargers at 1 o'clock on Sunday, this becomes meaningless for Houston, and this line is going to jump to 5, 5.5, or 6. So if you take it right now at 3.5, basically, even if you don't like Tennessee, you're going to probably get, you can come back and get a nice little middle to try there with Houston at +6 on Sunday after KC beats the Chargers, which they will. So that's my take on this one, but I do lean to the Tennessee side.
Marco, Freddie Kitchens, I think he needs this win, man. I think this Cleveland team wants to go into the year, into the summer feeling a little better about themselves. And, Cincinnati, I don't think they really care here. This is Dalton's probably his final game. We got 2.5s and 3s on the board for Cleveland. 43 is the total. I lean to Cleveland here, Marco, and the bottom line for me is it's just a tale of different talent. Both sides of the field, there's just so much more talent on Cleveland than Cincinnati.
Well, I agree with you that talent-wise, Cleveland has more talent, but I'm going to disagree with you 100% about Freddie Kitchens and wanting to go in here. Obviously, you being on the ski slopes of Switzerland and such, haven't seen the last month of the Cleveland Browns play. This team's quit on him. The players have openly wide receivers have discussed they want traded, they want out, they don't like the system. Freddie Kitchens is one and done. I make him a 180 favorite to be fired at the end of the season. Cincinnati, I agree with you on the talent, but this team has not quit for their coach, and that was never more evident than last week when you looked at the way they rallied late in that game against when they played Miami. Just a ridiculous comeback at the end of the game. I lean Cincinnati here.
He's Marco D'Angelo. I'm the Prez. You're watching the Betting Edge with the Prez. Guys, another huge boxing week special. A week of my bets, all plays, all sports, 7 days. The regular price is $119. I lowered it to $59. Use the promo code PREZ59. I lowered it to $59. I have a 5% play in NFL up on Sunday. I have a 5-pack of NFL plays. I got a ton of bowl games still to go. I got 2 NHL plays up tonight. I'm winning in college basketball and the NBA. That is a monster offer. Marco can attest to the fact that $59 for a week is about as low as we've ever had it. This is live until Monday. Head over to wagertalk.com. Use the promo code PREZ59. Marco, this Chicago game, this number has been moving all morning, brother. 8:05 a.m., it was a pick'em. 8:33 a.m., it was -3. There's a shit ton of money coming in on the Chicago Bears. And, Minnesota's locked into the last seed. It really is a meaningless game for them. And they do have playoff pedigree. So unlike Buffalo, where I feel they're going to be playing their starters, I think we're going to see Minnesota come out and not give a rat about this game. Conversely, Mitch Trubisky needs to go into the summer feeling like he remembers how to throw a ball. I can't play Chicago here because Chicago could either win or they could lose to themselves. But I do lean on over the total. This game's a pass.
Yeah, it's a pass for me as well. Prez, you're talking about a reaction here. We don't even know who's quarterbacking for sure for Minnesota. Right now it's listed undecided. And the look-ahead line on this game was Minnesota 7. So we're looking at now a 10-point swing. That's just way too much, especially for a team that has nothing to play for. And Chicago was embarrassed on Sunday Night Football. If they were going to show up for a game, you would have thought it would have been last week against the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. And once again, a no-show by the Bears offense. Just one of those Week 17 games where I have absolutely no interest.
He's Marco D'Angelo, my partner in crime, co-founder of wagertalk.com. Indianapolis, some money's been coming in on Jacksonville as of the last 24 hours. We're down to 3.5 for Indianapolis, a total of 43. And I really like Indy here, Marco. They win this game. They're 500 on the year. And they'll look back and they'll say this was a successful year. They lost T.Y. They lost Andrew Luck. They have been injured all year. They're so well coached. I think they want to go into this year with a win. In Jacksonville, well, they've lost everybody. This team doesn't care. They've quit on the season. They quit 6-7 weeks ago. They're not even going to show up to this game.
Yeah, I can't disagree with anything you've said there, but you're laying just too much with Indianapolis. It is Indianapolis or pass. It is a big motivator on Week 17 when you got a team that can get to 500. There's just that mental stigma with, being a losing team and being a non-losing team. So it is a motivational factor. And let's be honest, if you would have told Indianapolis minutes after Andrew Luck announced his retirement that you were going to go 8-8 this season, you would have been doing cartwheels because everybody had this team dead in the water. So, yes, they are playing. Frank Wright, good coach in Jacksonville. Yes, they have quit. Don't want any part of them.
Yeah, I can't touch this. I was jumping to Washington. We're going to talk Atlanta, Tampa Bay. We're just going right through the rotation order.
Yes.
Atlanta, Tampa Bay, 48. This game's been bet down from 50.5. It's a pick 'em now on the board, so money is coming in on Atlanta. And this Atlanta team has shown that they're a good team. They started off really bad, but they've really put together a nice run. They're playing very hard. Tampa Bay, Jameis Winston, my God. Dude, I think they turned the ball over 6 times last game against Houston. 5 times, and they were still in it right to the bitter end. I like the over in this game, Marco. I don't understand the line move down. I understand Tampa Bay's wide receiving core is injured, but they're not a dink and dunk team, and neither is Atlanta. Over the total for me.
Yeah, there's been some sharp money on the under, though, in this game, and that's surprising because the knee-jerk reaction with any Tampa Bay game is to go over the total. As far as Atlanta goes, and this is a game that we talked about on my show, Bet On It. You may have heard of it.
It's my show. You just are on it.
Right. Yeah, okay.
Well, who owns the show? It's our show. My and your show. We own the show.
Okay.
You're just one.
Who's the executive producer?
Not you.
Yeah, it is.
You're just you're just a guest, Marco.
Straight up. But we did talk about this game, and an angle that you do talk about at the end of the season. One of them was what we talked about in the last game, teams at 7-8, the motivation for that. Another one is if a team is playing hard at the end of the season, trying to save their coach's job. And that is what Atlanta's doing. The players have openly said they're playing hard for Dan Quinn. I think it's time for Dan Quinn to go, but that's a whole nother story.
So do I.
But the players have openly said they're playing hard for him. And if you've looked at the last month of the season, they are. So that's where I can see some of the money coming in on Atlanta in this game. And as you mentioned, Tampa Bay, they are all banged up on the receiver end of it. And Jameis Winston, my God, that game last week, I had the under in that game.
I know. we texted.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it.
Incredible to survive the under in that game when he throws the first play of the game, pick six. I mean, it's insane.
Marco,
and they had another
I said move on.
Oh, Prez. All right, let's go to Washington, Dallas.
Yeah, so by the way, everybody, I had the over in that game. But I did have a winning week last week. I went 3-2. I got nothing on this Washington and Dallas game, brother. Dallas is just reeling, and, you know, we barely know who's going to be the quarterback for Washington.
It's Case Keenum. Case Keenum's going to be the quarterback. And the only angle you can look at here, Dallas needs to win and hopes Philly loses. The fact that Philadelphia will be playing at the same time, so you got to go into it thinking, hey, we're still alive. We don't know what the other game's score is at the moment. So, yes, they're going to be trying. Dak Prescott's not 100%. We saw that last week. He had a miserable game. But on Case Keenum's side, this Washington team has played well down the stretch for Callahan. This is a team that hasn't quit, that's had a horrendous season. Injuries left and right once again for the Washington Redskins. Case Keenum's playing for a job somewhere next year. And so you know you're going to get a big effort out of him. Value-wise, there's value to take the Redskins in this game. That's it. Will I get to the window? Probably not, but that is the side I would play if I was playing the game.
Guys, head over to wagertalk.com. Use the promo code PREZ59. 7 days of all my plays. It includes my 5% play on Sunday. And my 5% play on Sunday alone is $40. So $59 for a week of all my plays. PREZ59 as well. If you look at the bottom of the screen, I just changed the scroll. $1,000 off of Teddy or Dave's full year of plays. The lowest we've ever sold a year of plays ever. $999. Promo code Teddy Boxing Day or Dave Boxing Day. Marco, I got nothing on New Orleans versus Carolina. You?
Well, what you need to do with your handicapping New Orleans games, you got to look and see if anybody's close to setting an NFL record, because if they are, the Saints are going to be hell-bent to make sure they get the record. If you watched their last couple games, the Monday night game, they made sure they got Drew Brees, the touchdown pass record on national TV. And then last week, 5 straight passes to Michael Thomas to get him the season record for catches. I'm very bitter with the Saints. They've gotten me once with them and once against them in the last 3 weeks as big plays. The line is up to 13, Prez. No value on the Saints, but you want to talk about a team that's in total disarray. Carolina has quit. Will Grier was horrible in his first start last week. On paper, I don't know how Carolina can even possibly stay with New Orleans, but New Orleans has a remote shot if San Francisco loses at night, they can snatch the number one position. So they do have motivation to play, but I'm not laying 13 points on the road.
He's Marco D. WagerTalk.com. Philly Giants, must win for Philly. Giants are going to play their heart out to keep this team out of the playoffs. I want to take Philly. I can't. I'm passing on this game. It's a damn shame.
I like the over in this game. I think the Giants have nothing to lose in this game, and this is a team that just a couple weeks ago almost beat Philadelphia in Philadelphia.
23-17.
In overtime. That was the Monday night game, and that was with Eli Manning. They wheeled him out in a wheelchair to play. He hadn't played since, week 2 of the season, so there had to be some rust there. Well, he threw for 2 touchdown passes in that game, big ones, and we got Danny Dimes. He returned to action last week, had a big game against Washington. Granted, the Washington defense is not good, but I see them here in the full-blown spoiler mode. Home underdog, trying to knock Philly out of the playoffs. They're going to take chances in this game. They have nothing to lose. And when you have a mentality like that, and you come up on a fourth and 2 at your own 40, you're not going anywhere. Go ahead and go for it. Why not?
And I think we're going to see that with a lot of teams this week, especially teams like the New York Jets. But with the Giants, the 4th and 2 really bodes well for them because of Barkley. I mean, they can. And
if they take chances like that, where I'm heading with this, Prez, is I like the over.
Yeah.
Because if you take the chance, great. Because what's going to happen? It's either going to keep a drive rolling, or you're going to give up field position. And both of those are good results for an over. I see this one going over the total. We've seen the line was 45 yesterday. I'm seeing a couple 44.5s pop up now because the public's looking at Philadelphia last week in that 17-9 game. And they are looking to the Monday night game where it took overtime to get to 40 points. Just remember, that was with Eli, not Danny Dimes.
Marco, I like RG3 better than any quarterback Pittsburgh can roll out. I like Baltimore's defense better than Pittsburgh's defense, even though Pittsburgh's defense has played really well. I love Baltimore here, brother, and I know you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and I'm sorry about that.
I gave Baltimore out on the show, bet on it this week. I agree with you. I agree with you on everything you just said except the defense. The defense, there's no comparison between the Pittsburgh defense and the Baltimore defense. Pittsburgh's defense is legit. The problem is the offense has been so inept that the defense is starting to get wore down.
That's a good point, though. That's a good point. Baltimore's defensive numbers are better than Pittsburgh's this year, but they don't take into account the fact that Pittsburgh is playing again with shorter fields. Pittsburgh is playing with their defense out more often. So that is a really, really good point.
And RG3 is better than anything that the Steelers have quarterback-wise. Duck Hodges, he was benched last week and had to come back in because Mason Rudolph got hurt. The backup to Duck Hodges is Paxton Lynch. I don't know how the Steelers can score any points here. I have taken Baltimore, and I have taken Baltimore on teasers. Use the 6-point teaser. You get them up over a touchdown. I see no way the Steelers win by 10 points in this game. They've scored 10 points in the last 2 games each. And, it's a bad situation. Prez, with the playoffs on the line for the Steelers, for me to go against them, I bet with my head, not my heart. And I've had teasers the last 3 weeks, and I'll continue to do so. That's where I'm at on this one.
Jets versus Buffalo, Marco. I like Buffalo here, but I don't like them a ton. It's a meaningless game for them, although Sean McDermott has come out and said that they're going to play their starters and try win. I like the under the most in this game. I'm going to be betting the under. New York Jets defense, 1 position behind Buffalo, and keep in mind, they've been on the field all year. They're 2 of the best defenses in all of football in this game. I like the under.
I agree with you about their defense. It's good. My only concern about the under in this game, Prez, is you do have two very good defenses. I question the intensity that you're going to get out of Buffalo. Okay. And here's the reason why. If you look at Buffalo, the last 2 weeks were their two biggest games of the season. 2 weeks ago, Monday night or Sunday night.
It's literally their last four. You know, the Dallas Thanksgiving game, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, New England. It's been a crazy schedule for them.
It has. But the last two, the reason I point out the last two was the Sunday night game against Pittsburgh, in which they were playing. The winner of that game was going to have the number 5 seed. They beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh had 5 turnovers in that game. They got the win. Then they turn around. They clinched their playoff spot, solidified that they were locked into the number 5 position, but they still had a chance to win the division. They had to go to New England and win. They played New England tooth and nail right to the end, and they had 4 shots at the end zone in the red zone at the end of the game and was not able to get it in for the tying touchdown.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that game either.
Prez, if we didn't talk about all the games,
I don't even want to talk about what you're about to talk about.
But my point is, after that string of games, like you just said, and especially the last 2, and the playoffs next week, I can't get involved with Buffalo here. And then the flip side of that with the Jets. Here's a team, and you talked about how good the defense is. Buffalo's 4, the Jets are 5. And the Jets, if you go back to the first month of the season, they were a total train wreck. Remember, Sam Darnold had the mono and missed a month and everything else, and their offense was never on the field. They were 3 and out all the time, and that defense got worked. So for them to have season numbers of number 5 in the league, if Darnold would have played all year, the defense would have even better numbers.
Oh, yeah, they'd be number 2.
Okay, so this is a spot where I like the Jets, and they are one of those teams. This is another tip, and if you watch that great show, Bet on It, you would have got it, is teams that are surging at the end of the season.
Our show.
Okay, our show. If you play those teams in the final week, they are good play-ons because these are teams that are building momentum for next year. And if you look, the New York Jets are 5-2 straight up the last 7 weeks. This is a huge game for the Jets, momentum-wise, taking into next year. I like the Jets in this game.
Miami on the money line. Go.
Yeah, Miami on the money. I'll tell you what.
I've already made the bet. Plus 800. I made the bet yesterday.
Okay. With the looking at New England and seeing this number of 16 and then saying, how does this team, their defense is tremendous. We know that. But does Brady score enough points to cover this? Knee-jerk reaction would be to take Miami on a teaser and get them over 3 touchdowns because all New England has to do is win. They don't need style points or anything else. But we know Belichick and, has a tendency to make a point with division rivals.
Yeah,
so,
the converse is that he doesn't like to run up the score against old assistant coaches of his.
Yeah, we'll see that. I've seen him blow out some old assistant coaches too. It's a game that, for me, New England or pass. Miami, that last 5 minutes last week against Cincinnati was really scary with that Miami defense, the way they got shredded. I don't trust Miami here. You got a warm weather team going to New England in late December. Not exactly ideal weather conditions. It's New England or pass, and most likely for me, a pass.
Yeah, it's Miami or Miami. I'm not touching this Green Bay game.
No, this line's too high. They've over-adjusted this number based on Green Bay with still having a shot to finish higher seed.
Yeah.
And you look at the spot with Detroit, they've looked just terrible. But I can't give them this many points at home. Green Bay, they just have to win. They don't need to cover. Second week on the road, on a short week, that's not good. And you're looking at the line being Look ahead was 10, and now we're seeing 12.5s and 13s. No, too much. It's Detroit or pass.
I like Kansas City here, Marco. Chargers are done. Kansas City wants to win this game. We know we're going to get 3 or 4 touchdowns out of them. And I don't know if you've noticed, but since that bye, this is one of the best defenses in all of football.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where statistically 100% agree with you. But if you look at the offenses that they have faced since that bye, they haven't faced really.
They did face the New England I can't throw a ball down the field Patriots.
Yeah. This, as I said, they have faced some very soft defenses or offenses. So, and Phillip Rivers, in my opinion, this is his last game. I agree with you. Kansas City's the play. I think that maybe a teaser is the safer way to go with Kansas City, but I agree. It's Kansas City here.
We're not even going to talk about the Rams game. There's really no lineup. Nobody knows what the hell's going on in that game. We're going to skip San Fran and Seattle and save it to last. Oakland, to me, seems to be the play. There is a path for them to get to the playoffs. And you know what, Marco? It's not that unrealistic. Tennessee could lose this game in Houston. Indianapolis will beat Jacksonville. And Pittsburgh will likely lose to Baltimore. There is a route. With that said, Drew Lock, 5 of 6 or 4 of 5 he's won. Denver's feeling good about themselves, but I'm going to take the points.
Yeah, I'm not impressed with Oakland.
Nor I.
Carr, this is one of those things that, everybody knows about Kirk Cousins and his problems on Monday Night Football. Well, Derek Carr in cold weather is atrocious. And you're going to Denver in late December.
I'd like to go to Denver in late December.
I know you would. Warm. Okay, so I'm not sold on Oakland. Their defense is still bad. Drew Lock, this is one of those teams right now that you would classify they're trying hard for their coach. Yep. First-year coach. They have not given up on the season, and this is what their future is supposed to be. This is the guy they drafted, and he would have been the quarterback when Flacco went down, other than he got hurt in preseason, and they couldn't go to him. Well, now they got him, and they're happy with what they're seeing so far. So I think the momentum continues to go. These two teams don't like one another. There's, bad blood between them, division rivals. Denver would like nothing better than to end Oakland's season. And as you said, Oakland needs 4 things to happen. There's really only 2 that I see that are tough. And that is Tennessee losing to Houston. That's the swing. They need to get Tennessee beat. If they get Tennessee beat, the pieces fall into place because Baltimore beats Pittsburgh and Indianapolis beats Jacksonville, which they need Indianapolis to win to create tiebreakers if they win. But the second hardest part of this for Oakland is Oakland actually winning, in my opinion.
Well, it's funny you say that because I think I think it's not unrealistic that all the chips fall where they're supposed to for Oakland, and then they let go of the game at the end and Tennessee sneaks in. Seattle. That's what I like here. I give full analysis on the NFL presidential address, so guys, check that out. What are you thinking?
What I'm thinking is you scare me because we agree on a few plays this week. That's what scares me. This is too many points, too much of an adjustment. I know Seattle is banged up. I know they have nobody to throw the football to. I know they have nobody to hand the ball off to. Marshawn Lynch, they are so desperate they had to wheel him out in a wheelchair, basically, to get him to play. How effective is he going to be? I don't know. How many plays can they actually get out of him? He does know the offense. He's been there before. I like Seattle, though, because the key factor for me is this. The 49ers defense, now granted, they catch a break with all of the injuries to Seattle, but if you look at the first 7 weeks of the season, Prez, when they had a very soft schedule, the 49ers held all 7 opponents to 20 points or less. Since then, the 8 games since then, 6 of the 8 opponents, which now it has been a tougher schedule, have scored 25 or more points against this defense. And in the last 3 weeks, they've given up 106 points. As long as there's one healthy person, and that healthy person's name is Russell Wilson, I'm not counting Seattle out of any
I'm with you 100%, dude.
Yeah, 3.5 points, home underdog, and you got San Francisco going to Seattle. The weather can always be a factor there.
And they're coming off of a terrible loss, which was ultimately meaningless. Seattle plus 160 as well, Marco. Dude, I'm starving. I'm going to eat. I got some weight to put on. I'm flexing right now for you. You are an incredible dude. Everybody head over to wagertalk.com. Take advantage of our huge Boxing Week special. Teddy Boxing Day and Dave Boxing Day, $999 for all of their plays for 1 full year. And a week of my plays, only $59. Prez, $59. Marco, I love you, man. You're one of the best. Lots coming. 2020 is going to be an incredible year for us, bro.
No problem. And you going to take down a major poker tournament in 2020?
Like maybe the one in my house that I host every 2 weeks. Hey, dude, last time I was in Vegas, I killed it, dude.
You did. I'll give you props. And
last 2 times, because the time before that I came second in the Venetian Deep Stack. So bugger off.
All right, sir.
Or
someday I'll get enough time to play tournaments with you, bud.
Or stand behind me with a pen and paper.
Yeah, that ain't happening. To write down all the things not to do.
Later, boys. Guys, have yourselves a great weekend.